Hello everyone, myself is Krishna Salgaonkar. I am from SST College of Arts and Commerce. Uh, Today we are going to talk about BCom Semester 5 subject Computer Systems and Application Paper 1. Here we are going to talk about different concept related with the module 1. In this subject, the module 1 is data communication, networking and internet. What are the different concepts we are going to learn over here are as follows: data communication components, data representation, distributed processing, and network basics. Let us start with the first concept, that is data communication. First, to understand what is a data communication, we will first learn what is a communication. Basically, communication involves the transfer of information from a sender to a receiver. Here, if you note, the sender and receiver are important. See, whenever two persons are communicating with each other, there is a sender, there is a receiver. Similarly, in this data communication also, uh, both are computer. A sender is also a computer and a receiver is also a computer. And the information is transferred in the form of signals. Next, here we will see the basic communication model. So if you see, there is a source and there is a destination. In between source and destination, there is a transmitter, transmission system and a receiver. Now what is the source and what is the destination? We will take the example how we talk on a mobile phone. So the person who talks on that mobile phone is a source. Okay. At the other end, the other person who is receiving that call is the destination. So what happened in this case, whatever voice signals are there, that get converted into the signals, and that happens through the transmitter. So transmitter receives your voice and convert it into a signal, and then it's sent to the transmission system. Now this transmission system transfer that signal to the receiver, and again this receiver convert that signal into a voice, and in this way it reached up to the destination. This is very basic communication model. So first your voice, then it gets converted to signal, that signal is transmitted to the other end, and then again that signal get converted into a voice. This is how the basic communication model works. Next, there is one more concept, that is distributed processing. As the word indicates, these are the tasks which are divided among multiple computers. Instead of having one computer doing the full work, we divide our work into smaller tasks, and once it is divided, it is assigned to different computers for completing that work. So instead of one single large machine being responsible for all aspects of process, separate computers, usually personal computers, handle all the subset works. Our next concept is computer network. So what is a computer network? It is very simple. See, if there are two computers and if we connected them to each other, okay, it becomes a network. I'm just starting with two computers because to understand the concept, first we will consider only two computers. So if I connected two computers to each other, either it will be wired or wireless. Yeah, I can connect it with the help of wires, or it can be wireless. It is similar to how you transfer files from one mobile to another, right? Now, once I connected the two computers, for what reason I will connect them? Either to share the information or to share the resources. So, what is a network? It is network means connecting two or more computers to each other with or without wires for transferring data or for sharing their resources. Now, what is mean by resource? Suppose one computer is having a printer attached with it, or the other computer can use the same printer through the network. So this is the basic definition of computer network. Now, the second thing is different types of network. So if you see, the networks are divided into different types based on the area they cover. As per the area, the first type is LAN. So LAN, what is meant by a LAN is local area network. A local area network is a network that is confined to a relatively small area. That is generally, if you see, it will be a lab, which computer labs which you are having in your colleges, school or buildings. It is generally privately owned network over a distance not more than 5 kilometers. So if I have a 5 computers and if I connect them in a small room, I can call it as a LAN. So the area is limited. In a very small area, if you connect all the computers together, it is called as a LAN. Now, second type is MAN, that is Metropolitan Area Network. Conceptually, if I have to tell you, if I have small LAN in different buildings in a city, and if I connect all that LANs together, it becomes a MAN, Metropolitan Area Network. MAN is the network covers a group of nearby corporate offices or city and might be either private or public. It can be a private or it can be public. The next type is WAN, that is Wide Area Network. These are the networks spread over large distance, say across countries or even continents, through cabling or satellite uplink. This is called as WAN. So if you see, there are different LANs, then WAN, MANs are there, and all together it becomes a big WAN, Wide Area Network. So whatever internet we are using now is a type of WAN. There is one more type of network which arises nowadays is PAN, Personal Area Network. See, whatever network we are using at our home for connecting the internet, we can call it as a PAN, Personal Area Network. A personal area network is computer network organized around an individual person. It generally covers a range of less than 10 meter. Personal area network can be constructed with cables or wireless, right? So as you see in the diagram, you will get the idea what is meant by a personal area network. Now our next concept is structure of network. For understanding the structure of network, first we have to understand the role of different computers in a network. So what are the role of a computer in a network? So there are three types of computer. One is client computer, one is server computer, and one is peer computer. Now what is mean by a client computer? What is mean by a server computer? So if you see, a server computer is a computer which offers information to other computers. So if I have a computer and which is continuously offering information to other computers, I can call it as a server. Which are the other type of computer is the client computer. So the information offered by the server is usually accepted by the client computer. So client is a computer that reads the information provided by the server computer. Now there are some computers which acts as a client as well as server computers. These type of computers are called as peer computers. Fine. So if you see, there are three roles of a computer in the network. One is client computer, one is server computer, and one is peer computer. Based on this, there are different structures. Now we will see the first structure. The network structure is the client server. So if you see in the diagram, there is a server computer, there is a network, and clients are connected with the server. Now this client and server is connected with the help of wire, so we can call it as a network. Now what is a client server? One computer is set aside as a server and the remaining machine acts as client. Fine. So one computer is providing the information and other computers are accepting the information. The server computer processes all the requests made by the clients. The server computer is operated by network operating system like Windows Server 2000, and also it has a faster CPU with a large disk space and memory size. See, whatever operating systems we are using in our computer are usually Windows. So for server, there is a different operating system. So that name of that operating system is Windows Server 2000. One more question will arise in your mind, that what is mean by operating system. So general example, simple example, our mobile phone's operating system. Usually our mobile phone operating system is Android, and the softwares which we are using as a operating system for computer, very common example is Windows. Fine. So it is again having versions. For home use, there is a different version, and for server use, the name is given as Windows Server 2000. Now the next type of structure is peer-to-peer. Now what is mean by peer? You know, all the computers can act as a server as well as client. No computer is kept aside as a server, but all the computers can be act as a client computer and a server computer. Such configuration is often used in small networks. Okay, so if you have 10 or less computers, you can go for this peer-to-peer. Now, our next concept is network topologies. Network topologies and cabling system. First, we have to understand what is mean by a topology. Now, up till now, we understand that what is a network. So, if we connect two or more computers together in with or without wire, we can call it as a network. In network, there are client computers, there are server computers, but the way we are connecting them is called as a topology. How we are connecting them together is called as a topology. We will see in details. Topology is the placement or arrangement of computers, cables, and connecting devices in a network. It determines the data path between a pair of computers in a network. Some of the commonly used networking topologies are bus, star, ring, and star ring topologies. Now first we'll start with the bus topology. So as you see in the diagram, this is called as a bus topology. There will be a central cable, big cable, and all other computers are connected to it in a straight line, as shown in the diagram. In this type, several computers are connected to a common cable called a bus or a trunk line. The computers connected to bus can send as well as receive data from a bus in two directions. It works in both the direction. Here the main problem is that if that main trunk or bus line got some fault, your whole network will fail. So that is the main big problem with the bus topology. The second topology is ring topology. In this, as you seen in the diagram, the computers are connected in a circular manner. In this type, all the computers in the network are connected in a circular series of cables. The data travel around the ring in each node until it reaches the required node. Suppose the server sends some information to the fourth computer, then that information first reaches to the first computer, then it reaches to the second computer, then it reaches to the third computer, and at the end it will be accepted by the fourth computer as it is for the fourth computer. So that is the fault in this type of topologies. Each node acts either as a transmitter or as a receiver and passes the data to its next node on a ring. So here each computer can receive or send pass information, but whatever information they will send, it will reach to each computer, and then at the end it reaches to the destination. Now the last and most commonly used topology is the star topology. Now as you seen in the diagram, there is a center device which is called as a hub, and all other computers are connected, all other devices, whichever you want to connect, are connected through that hub. So this type of topology is called as a star topology. You might have been seen this type of hubs outside your home. Usually it is used by cable operators. So you might have been seen. So one main cable comes from the cable operator into that device, and then from that device one wire reach to each house. So this type of network is called as a star topology. If you connect all your computers in this way using a hub, then you can call it as a star topology. In this type, several computers are connected to a centralized computer. A central computer is called as a server. The server is attached to the workstation by direct cabling. Data on a star network passes through the hub or connectors before continuing to its destination. The hub or a connector manages all the functions of the network. What it means, in the center there is a hub. So whatever data come from the server, that first reaches to the hub and then it gets transmitted to the receiver. The biggest advantage of this topology is that if there is a fault in one wire, only that computer or that part of your network is not in network. If it is suppose one wire get cut, so only that computer is not in network. All other network will be still working. So that is the biggest advantage with this type of topologies. Here, this is the last concept in this session. Other concept we will continue in the next session. That concepts are also from the same module 1. Thank you everyone.